I woke up last night at about 2:30 in the morning in a dream receiving state. And I heard a voice that said base 13. Base 13. And then I think that's all I heard, but then it said instead of base 10. Now, I had been reading a little bit before that, before I went to bed, so this is not out of the blue that I just heard base 13, but I heard a voice. It said base 13. So I analyzed what I've been doing with the base 13, because I've been using the 3 heads of Keta. You see? So that Keta had 3 heads. And then there's one in each of the other Sephirot. And then I realized that if you count 13 and having 3 heads in Keta, then to get 13 you have to have Das included. So it's 3 in Keta, and then 10 lower ones. Chokmah, Bina, Das, that's 3. And then 7 lower Sephiros. So this is like a 3 and a 4 up in the, but let's not worry about that. There are 3 in Keta. 1 in Chokmah, 1 in Bina, and 1 in Das. So we're having 6 Bereshis right there. But what's more is that, I started to analyze it in the number 13 in Judaism. We start off high with the 13 attributes of mercy. You see? But then I started to go down the list. And the number 13 is Echad, which is found in the Shema. So we have Echad, as 13 is the last word in the Shema. And we have 2 times 13. 26, that's Yud He Vav He. So Echad is 13. Then we have Yud He Vav He. Then we have 3 times 13, which is 39. That's the Shabbos laws, which are 40 minus 1, which is the Mem, minus 1. Mem, by the way, as we'll see, is the 13th letter. Then we have 4 times 13, which is Ben, and I think Eliyahu or something. I don't know. Ben, child. And it's the 52 name spelling of Yud He Vav He. Also, it's that 2 times, Adonai, Adonai, El Rahu, Adonai, Adonai. Each one, Adonai is 26. It's 2 times 26. Then 5 times 13 is 65. And that's Adonai, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud. So, Yud He Vav He, Yud He Vav He, and Adonai share something together that they're divisible by 13, Echad. And these 13 attributes of mercy, but these 13 attributes of the 10 Sephirot plus Das included. Because if you really realize this now, the Keta that has the 3 heads, including the head that's not known and cannot be known, is really a representative here of, well, that's Rod Lo, but it's a representative of Ein Sof. Shouldn't even be counted. It's too high. Then we have 78, which is 6 times 13. 78 is the most miraculous number of them all, as far as I'm concerned. 78 is Masla. That's the Masla area where things can change. That's above reason and everything else. That's up in the Rod low. Then 7 times 13 is 91. 91. It's Amen. And it's also the 2 other names that we had here. The 2 times 13, Yud He Vav He, and the 5 times 13, Adonai, becomes 7 times 13 is 91. Then we have 8 times, which is I put it wrong here. Dark, but we're not going to do so. Then we have 9 times. We're going to skip the 104. If you have any big things with 104, great. I don't right now. 2 times 52, but 104, 9 times 13 now is 117, and that for me is a big number because it's the Aleph and the Hey, and those are the Ha from the Haggadah, and it's how many verses are in Shir HaShirim, and so 9 times 13 is 117, which is a propitious number. Then 10 times 17, let's see. What do I have here? Oh, yeah. 10 times 17 is, 10 times 13 is 130. And that's the letter Ayin, which is the large letter in the Shema. That letter Ayin is the large letter of the Shema, then ties in a little bit with the Echad as the last letter of the Shema, the Dalet, which is actually a double Dalet, like a Mem. And that would be the final Mem, and that would be the 14. That would be the 13th letter. So it ties in that also the 130 is the years that Adam and Eve separated, I think. Then the 11th time is 143, and right now I don't have anything for that because I got this at 2 o'clock in the morning. But there's some stuff on that. And then 12 times 13 is Yosef, 156. So there's plenty of energy there. I don't have anything for 13 times 13, and then they kind of get weaker. So 13 times 13 is it, and then after that, there's not so much as far as Gematria goes. Until we get to 13, 14, 15, 16 times 13 is Yitzhak. So there's a relationship here between Yosef and Yitzhak from these numbers. And that's all I'm going to give right now, because they get weaker after that. Not so many. So it's 13 squared. It's the first 13 numbers. There's a big thing here of base 13. It's base Echad. So then, I did another thing. I did Adonai is Aleph, the Adonai, the 65 name, Aleph Dalet Nun Yud. And I minused Yud He Vav He, that's 26. And I get 39, which is the 39 Shabbos laws, and the name Tal. do. But the 39 Shabbos laws are found from taking 65 name, Adonai, minus Yud Hey Vav Hey. And it's funny that we use those two names when we use them together, so to speak. When we say Adonai, and we really mean Yud Hey Vav Hey. See? So all this comes together there. There's some other things, but it's good enough for right now. There are other things with Dinam and stuff like that, other names. As far as I'm concerned, this is the opening up to the base 13. Base 13 can include da'as within the 10 Sephirot. Base 10 can't. So when they tell you about, there are 9 and this and not 11 in the Sefer Yetzirah, it's because they're talking here of base 10. We changed the base to base 13 because there are 3 heads in Keter. And we all know the 13 attributes of mercy. And this is a way to include everything within the Sephirot, including Keter and Da'as within the same Sephirot, within the same tree of life. And in a certain sense, we still have 10, because we're going to count we still have 10 because we count the Keter as a 0. If we count 0 for Keter, that makes it Ein Sof. And this 0, and then you can count Da'as as 3. Chokmah, Bina, and Das. So Keter is really 0. And then you only have 10 Sephirot. Malchus is the 10th. And the first is 0, which in a certain sense isn't counted. But if you count its attributes, it has 3. And so therefore, we have 13 counting Das. If you can follow that, go to a casino. But quite frankly, it's deep. And I didn't even intend to talk about that 0 here. I remember I had that before, but it's really true.